Next on Worcester News tonight, days after a police officer is shot and killed in the line of duty, chiefs are weighing in on a measure to protect their officers. Plus, a jersey auction to help support veterans. A look at how the Bravehearts are helping out. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Lemon. Days after a Weymouth police officer is killed in the line of duty, Massachusetts police chiefs are weighing in on supporting the death penalty for anyone who kills a police officer. Some say they are hopeful the conversation around capital punishment begins because something needs to be done to protect officers. Our Brittany Schaefer joins us now with more. Brittany?
Olivia, Police Chief in Leicester, James Hurley, supports the idea. He says during his 30-year career in law enforcement, he's lost several friends in blue and something needs to change.
Once again, law enforcement has been rocked to its core.
The murder of a Weymouth police sergeant is again sparking talk of making killing a police officer punishable by the death penalty.
It is something that's on the radar and I'm sure will be part of the discussion. I don't think anything will be taking place most likely before the end of this legislative session in a couple of weeks, but it is definitely one of the things that's a topic of discussion for the future.
Massachusetts Chiefs of Police Association President and Dudley Chief Stephen Weiner says in the wake of multiple recent tragedies, it needs to be taken into consideration.
Death penalty certainly is always going to be controversial, but I think the way that we felt, if you're looking at it and actually considering it, you'd want to have it under very rare and certainly special circumstances. And definitely anyone who's willing to kill a police officer fits into that category.
When it happens, the question always lingers, why not me? We need to do something to protect our police officers, and it has to be done fairly soon.
Leicester Police Chief James Hurley says the recent killings are all too familiar. He says he has lost several friends in blue, including Ronald Tarantino Jr., who worked in Leicester for 7 years.
I said it when Bob Mortell, the chief in Paxton, was killed. I've said it when other police officers have been killed. I'll say it for Ron Tarantino. Ron was a friend of mine. He was a colleague of ours. I would support the death penalty for that individual.
Weiner says every police department feels an emotional loss after one of their own is murdered and something needs to change soon.
It highlights the emphasis of the dangers that officers face on a daily basis. We hope to kind of have these things done to a situation where we can deal with these violent offenders that are out there on the street, deal with them harshly.
Now again, Weiner says this will be an option during this legislative session, but he expects it to be a big discussion soon. Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
The cost of renting a car in Massachusetts may increase soon, but it's for an important cause. Wednesday night, the state Senate approved a bill which would add a $2 surcharge when renting a car to support police officer training. The House previously approved the bill and it now moves to Governor Charlie Baker. Currently, fire departments have a similar surcharge through homeowners insurance policy. The president of the Massachusetts Chiefs of Police Association says this will solve a long-running issue within Massachusetts and it will double the current funding police municipalities receive. A Worcester man is arrested Wednesday. Police say he threatened paramedics with a knife. According to police, 49-year-old Thomas Dolmain pulled a double-edged switchblade on paramedics while they were trying to check on him. First responders were originally called to Myrtle Street for reports of a man who appeared to be passed out. Paramedics were able to disarm the man. He is facing multiple charges, including assault with a dangerous weapon and carrying a dangerous weapon. A group of high school students get a first-hand look at what police officers can experience on a daily basis. The Millbury Police Department is in its 4th year of their youth academy. Officers say it's a great way to build relationships with the community. Our Roslyn Flaherty got to experience some of the drills today and joins us now with more. Roslyn?
Olivia, the students got live firearms training as well as collecting evidence at a crime scene, and they say it opens up their eyes to law enforcement.
Millbury's Youth Police Academy is introduced to firearms.
They use the Glock, revolver, rifle, and whoever wants to do the shotgun, we'll show them the shotgun.
This week, 17 high school students are getting one-on-one training on what it's like to be a police officer.
It was scary because the guns are bigger than I am, but it's a lot of fun.
Firearm safety is what we try to preach here. How to check and see if firearms loaded or unloaded. Firearm safety, range safety is the most important thing.
Thursday, the young recruits spent time target training at the department's range. Officers Keith Gasco and Nicole Oliveri have run the program for the last 4 years.
It opens up in case in the event they want to get into this kind of profession.
They want to come here, they see the stuff that we do, the stuff that we go through. I think this stuff right here is definitely going to be a hook.
Wednesday, the students got to see a mock crime scene at Becker College, where they were investigating a murder.
Try to figure out what happened, and then they will actually analyze the evidence. They'll look at the blood, collect blood samples, they'll look for fingerprints.
Many of the kids say, although they are still young, what they've learned has gotten them interested in the profession.
Cool to see what police officers can walk into to see and how they'll have to deal with it.
Learn about how things are working on a crime scene, a live crime scene, so it's a good experience.
And officers say the week also builds a relationship between police and the youth.
Getting to them at a young age and developing a rapport with the kids is very big.
And the students will graduate from the program tomorrow. Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
Recreational marijuana shops are one step closer to opening in Worcester. This week, the city has signed 2 community host agreements. Agreements have been signed with Prime Wellness Centers on Pullman Street, which is currently under construction, and Good Chemistry of Massachusetts on Harris Street. The city has previously signed agreements with both companies to run medical marijuana dispensaries. The signed agreements allow the companies to complete their state application. They will then have to apply for special permit and license, which the city expects to happen by the end of the summer or fall. The Crompton Park pool remains closed Thursday due to flooding from Tuesday's storm. The city says more testing is required before swimmers are allowed back in. Wednesday, crews were on scene cleaning up the mess. In the meantime, aquatics programs and swimming lessons are canceled for the day. It's unclear when the pool will reopen. The city's task force for sustaining housing first solutions is calling for $4 to $6 million in capital investment to end chronic homelessness. Members of the task force say affordable housing units could help solve the issue. Our Chandler Walsh joins us now to explain. Chandler?
Olivia, the task force hopes to have 103 new units built and filled in the next 2 years. Now with city council support, they're a step closer to their goal. The City of Worcester's Sustaining Housing First Solutions moves to the next phase of work.
Implementation and getting off the ground and really moving forward in the same direction.
The city manager's task force had 26 recommendations to end adult chronic homelessness. They were unanimously accepted by the City Council this week.
Part of the vision of our council and part of my vision as an at-large councilor is to make sure there's a place for everyone.
Recommendations include building 103 new affordable housing units to provide permanent housing for people living on the street. Task force member Jan Yost says they will be spread throughout the city.
They could be what we call scattered sites, which are individual efficiency apartments throughout the city. There could be duplexes with a couple of people living together, and then there could be what we call congregate sites, where maybe as many as 25 are living with resident managers.
All of Worcester's housing partners will participate.
That includes the Worcester Housing Authority, other nonprofit housing providers, and the private sector of landlords.
The $4 to $6 million needed for the project will be a mix of public and private investments. At-large Councilor Christian King says the council's support shows the city will step up to help.
When people fall down, sometimes they need a hand to help them up. And that's what this is really about, is making sure that people have access and opportunity.
The next big step moving forward, the city manager is appointing a coordinating council to oversee the project. They will meet in the next month or 2. Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
Honoring service members and veterans, Friday the Worcester Bravehearts will host their annual Military Appreciation Night. Current service members and veterans get to attend the game for free. Players will be wearing camouflage jerseys in honor of the night. After the game, there will be a jersey auction. Bravehearts say proceeds will benefit Project New Hope.
The Bravehearts are named in honor of veterans. When you think about the term brave being an homage not just to the firefighters and the police officers here in the city of Worcester, but to the veterans, the military personnel who serve us here and abroad. And so it's always one of our most popular nights of the year.
And Project New Hope provides free retreats for active members and veterans.